Hello, hello. Heather Jean here with another episode of Confidence with Coffee. Actually, I'm doing tea this evening. Um, but this is the segment where we get to have a cuppa together and uh, just kind of reflect over this week's podcast or vodcast episode. So the vodcast episodes can be found right here on Confidence Through Cabaret YouTube channel. Go to the vodcast playlist and you'll find the latest episodes and all of the previous episodes of the vodcast. If you prefer your podcasts in audio form, then you can check out Confidence Through Cabaret anywhere you get your podcasts, and you'll be able to find all of the episodes, including this week's episode, which is with the incredible Red. And we are talking laughter yoga. Red has a business called Laughter YogHaha, and it is all about laughter yoga. And I first came across laughter yoga when Clubhouse launched. There was a few people there that were doing kind of daily or a few times a week doing laughter yoga. And I first listened to it and thought, what is this? And it was like a fake laughing that brings you into the state of actual laughing, because you start to laugh at other people fake laughing and they laugh at you and so on. And if I had heard about it described, I would have thought, that's my version of hell, to have people laughing at me. But it isn't like that. It is a release, a beautiful release of all of the happiness hormones that are released when we laugh. And, as Red points out in this episode, you're not thinking about what you're cooking for tea or anything else while you're laughing. So it's really just such a beautiful practice to be able to, enjoy our body, enjoy our natural essence, enjoy our energy, enjoy the connection between mind and body, which, as you know, in Confidence Through Cabaret, we are all about that. And laughter is such a great way of creating that momentum that we talk about all the time in confidence. So confidence is one of these up and down journeys. It's about getting momentum. So when we go through the low periods, we don't go down as low, we don't stay down as long. And so with laughter yoga, if you attend a class, and there are lots of them online. In fact, on this episode, Red points out several of them. But the leader will take you through a series of exercises and breathing in between those exercises. And the great thing is now, because we can be together post-COVID, then we get the physical contact as well. So hugs are great. Feeling somebody else laughing creates that connection, and it leaves us, as Red points out, feeling fuzzy and full of love. And I love that. I mean, who doesn't want to feel fuzzy sometimes, right? So let's have a look at the clip, and then we'll have a bit of a chat about it with our coffee.
One of the big important things for me is to finish the laughter yoga sessions with hugs, and kind of like allowing people to kind of like hold the people that they've been building these connections with and laughing with through the workshop, and then having like a 20-second hug with those people, and just allowing the oxytocin to kind of like start to flow as well. So you're getting the serotonin, and then because laughter's, when you laugh, you've all been there when you've been laughing so hard, your stomach muscles are just so, painful, because your stomach's just constantly, and, your chest is doing all that heavy breathing. And so through the physical exercise of laughter, you get like a lot of dopamine surge as well. So, you're sitting there with the serotonin coming through, the dopamine kind of through the exercise, and then the hugs at the end, and the kind of like the breathing and allowing that, it's the oxytocin.
I mean, isn't that such a beautiful experience? You've at some point been with friends or family where you've laughed so hard your face hurts. I mean, it's really good for facial yoga as well. Except, as Red points out, the perhaps the the eye wrinkles. But, I mean, if they're earned through laughter, no one would mind those. But I think, it's that how light, how free, how uninhibited we feel when we've been laughing or while we're laughing. And, a lot of people talk about mindfulness practice and being in that moment. And in fact, Red takes us through a beautiful exercise with breathing with a tree. Or another exercise that Red recommends is just sitting under a tree for 3 minutes. And I've had times when I haven't been able to meditate. I was hiding from myself, or I was frustrated at not being able to quiet my mind. And I've had times when, my gratitude and my journaling aren't really coming through sincerely. They're more kind of ticking boxes, going through the motion. And that's masculine energy, right? That is the doing, the challenging, the driving, the competing, it's all of the kind of ego states. And what we're talking about here is more in the feminine energy, because we're releasing those endorphins and we're able to tap into creativity. We're able to let our inhibitions fall. We're able to connect with others. If you're in a face-to-face class, or even if you were in an online class, you're still connecting with others. And we're able to just kind of be right there in that moment. And that can be a hard thing to do and to instigate for ourselves. And so having a leader that takes you through that is such a grounding thing to do. Red also talks about, being in nature, which of course helps us to be able to tap into our intuition and our creativity and silence some of those other voices. Now, if you've been around Confidence Through Cabaret for a while, that I talk about the various voices, the inner critic or the imposter voice. I also talk about the fierce kind of stage presence persona that we can adopt. It's all energy that we're tapping into, right? And so we can tap into that kind of negative energy, or that self-doubting energy, and that takes us into a downward spiral. We can tap into that fierce, strong, positive energy of, what I always talk about as our stage persona, that, we can do anything. And it's a lot about how we talk to ourselves. But what I love about laughter yoga and connecting with nature and things like forest schools and the exercises by being amongst nature is that we're not going through exercises to take us out of our mindset. We're just there. We're just there in the moment. And we can let go of all of those voices. And we all need to be able to do that, because the voice inside your head that is the quietest, guaranteed, is your intuition. And when you can quiet the other voices and be in that moment, that's when you'll be able to hear the whispers of your intuition. That's when you'll be able to release the creativity. That's when you'll be able to truly tap into your feminine energy and express your feelings and release. Talk about stress reliever. Laughter is the best medicine for stress reliever. A little bit like if you were to go somewhere and, scream, or they even have places where you can throw plates, out of anger, which also sounds fun. But what we're talking about here is letting things go, come out of your body. And, Red's talking to us about, coming down right from down in your belly, and then through your chest, and then through your vocal cords and your voice and your throat, and releasing all of those. And that levity in life is what gets us through very often. If you've heard my story, you'll know that I've had several periods of time where there have been just huge life-changing things all happening at once. And humor and laughter has been the thing that got me through. The thing that being able to laugh at myself, being able to laugh at how ridiculous the whole thing has suddenly become, or the thoughts that go through your mind, and that is so much about grounding ourselves and bringing us back to some perspective that we are lucky to be alive. We are, individuals who have much to be grateful for, that we can get into that state of grace. We can really start to express ourselves as who we are, and we can find ourselves if we ever lose ourselves. So, in Confidence Through Cabaret, we talk a huge amount about mind body connection. And this is a wonderful opportunity to being able to do that. It's also a great opportunity to feel good where you are now. And I always say, start from where you're strong. I always say, you have to accept and love yourself as you are today, even if you want to make changes. So you being able to tap into who you are today and feel good about that, and have all of the chemicals helping you, giving you momentum and moving you forward, will be far greater than anything you try and willpower your way through to keep your mind from thinking, or your body from, eating whatever it is that you're trying to avoid, or, this is nature's way of us being able to feel truly connected. Go check out this episode. It's on the Vodcast playlist here on Confidence Through Cabaret on YouTube. It's also on the podcast, anywhere you get your podcasts, Confidence Through Cabaret. Go check it out. Get in touch with either Red or with somebody online that offers yoga therapy. And Red actually gives some recommendations, but you can Google it and check out things on YouTube and probably on all of the socials. But I highly recommend this practice. Even if you did it once a week or once a month, even, it is a beautiful practice. And particularly if, things like yoga, where there's a lot of breathing and a lot of release. I always feel very emotional when I finish yoga because there's been huge amounts released. This is a fun, fairly fast way of really connecting. And then you can go deeper with other practices, of course. In fact, you should if you can. But this is just such a fabulous way to get that momentum. And that's what we're all about, is just getting momentum to build our confidence and break down some of the inhibitions and break down some of the dialogue that isn't supportive of us. So thank you for being here. Confidence Through Cabaret on all of the socials except Twitter. We are at YBYWYS. And on Clubhouse, I'm at Heather YBYWYS. And those 6 beautiful little letters stand for, it is your body, and it is your world, and it's your stage. Take up space and own it and enjoy it. You deserve it. Thank you for being here. See you next week. Bye for now.